Welcome to the deep dive. You scroll through social media, see all the skincare ads. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Is modern skincare actually doing what it promises, or is a lot of it just really good marketing?
It's a fair question. I mean, we're looking at a huge industry, right? $155 billion globally.
And heading towards $230 billion by 2030, apparently?
Yeah.
That's a lot of money spent chasing perfect skin.
Exactly. And there's so much noise out there, conflicting advice. It's easy to feel completely overwhelmed.
Totally.
So our goal today, really, is to try and cut through some of that. We want to help you navigate it.
Okay.
It's not about saying all products are useless, not at all. But we want to look at the bigger picture, what really makes skin healthy. There are internal factors, external ones, things that often get completely glossed over by the brands.
Right. So think of this deep dive as kind of a shortcut to understanding what truly matters for your skin.
Yeah.
So here's the plan. First, we'll kind of unpack some of those common marketing tricks the industry uses. Then we'll really get into those internal factors, the stuff brands don't talk about much, but are, crucial.
Legislations.
Exactly. After that, we'll explore more of a holistic, inside-out approach. And finally, figure out how to strike a balance, right, between the internal work and, well, stuff you put on your face.
Sounds like a good roadmap. So where should we start? Maybe with how they get our attention in the first place. Those marketing techniques.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, the marketing. One thing that always gets me is the fear-based stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like, remember tech neck? Suddenly everyone was worried about lines from looking down at their phones.
Yes. Or mask need during the pandemic.
Right. Now, obviously, mask irritation was real for some people, definitely. But the way it was marketed felt opportunistic.
It did. They find a potential flaw, often tied to modern life, and boom, here's the product you need. It almost creates the anxiety.
It really does. And those super magnified pictures they use of pores or tiny lines.
Unrealistic, often. It trains us to, hyper-focus on things that might not even be noticeable otherwise. They sort of manufacture the problem sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, and then there's the whole clinically proven thing.
The pseudo-scientific claims.
Dermatologist tested, patent pending technology. These phrases sound impressive, right? But what's really behind them?
Often. Not as much as you'd think. The clinical trials might be tiny, maybe funded by the brand itself, and the results get spun to sound way more significant than they are. Patent pending could just be a tiny formula tweak, not some huge breakthrough.
So we should be a bit skeptical about those claims, maybe look for independent research.
Definitely. Healthy skepticism is key. True scientific backing usually means independent studies, peer-reviewed journals, not just the brand's own marketing materials. And yeah, patent pending doesn't automatically mean better results for you.
Okay. And what about the constant stream of new miracle ingredients?
Oh, the innovation illusion?
Is that what you call it? Like, at first it was all hyaluronic acid, then snail mucin.
Then bakuchiol was the natural retinol. Now copper peptides are everywhere.
It feels like you have to keep buying the newest thing or you're missing out. FOMO for skincare.
It's a classic retail strategy, isn't it? Create novelty, drive sales. And look, science does advance, but this super fast cycle of must-have ingredients, it often doesn't deliver results that are dramatically better than sticking with proven basics.
Right. It plays on that fear of being left behind.
Absolutely.
And maybe the biggest one, those before and after photos, the quick fix fallacy.
Oh, those can be so misleading.
Seriously.
Yeah.
The lighting changes, maybe some makeup, filters, even digital editing, they show these instant transformations that just aren't, biologically possible.
Exactly. You have to remember how skin actually works. Skin cell turnover. Shedding old cells, making new ones takes time.
How long are we talking?
Roughly 28 days for younger adults, and it actually slows down as we get older.
Okay, so nearly a month.
Yeah, so expecting some dramatic change in just a few days from a cream is highly unlikely. But we all want instant results, and the industry knows that.
Yeah.
It sets up unrealistic expectations.
Okay, so we've seen how the marketing often focuses on quick external fixes. Let's shift gears now to what's going on inside. This feels like the really overlooked part.
It really is. For so long, skincare was almost exclusively about topical products. But the science is becoming incredibly clear now.
Yeah.
Your skin's health, its appearance, it's deeply, deeply connected to your internal environment. It's not just what you put on it, It's what's happening within your body.
Okay, so where do we start with the internal stuff? The gut-skin connection seems huge right now.
It is foundational. We're learning so much about the microbiome, those trillions of microbes in our gut. They're basically in constant communication with our skin.
How does that work exactly?
Well, your gut microbiome is crucial for regulating your immune system and inflammation levels body-wide. If that gut environment gets out of balance, something called dysbiosis, or if the gut lining gets damaged.
Leaky gut.
Kind of, yeah. That can trigger systemic inflammation. And where does that inflammation often show up? On your skin. Think acne, rosacea, eczema.
Wow. I remember reading about a big review study, maybe 2021. It really confirmed this gut-skin axis and linked it to loads of skin conditions.
That's right. Frontiers in microbiology have pulled together a lot of research. And it just makes you think, doesn't it? Why isn't gut health front and center in skincare marketing?
Good point. If the root cause is in your gut,
Then slathering on expensive creams might help the symptoms temporarily, but it won't fix the underlying issue. Tackling gut health can be absolutely fundamental for people with chronic skin problems.
okay, gut health is key. What else internally? Nutrition must play a role.
Absolutely essential. Your skin is an organ, remember, like your heart or your liver. It needs the right building blocks to function well.
So things like vitamins, healthy fats.
Exactly. Essential fatty acids, vitamins A, C, E, D, minerals like zinc and selenium, amino acids for collagen and elastin. The list goes on.
It's like building a house, right? You need good materials.
Perfect analogy. If your diet is lacking those key nutrients, your skin just doesn't have what it needs to repair itself, regenerate, stay strong. No topical product can truly make up for that internal deficiency.
And it's not just about getting enough of the good stuff, is it? It's also about avoiding the bad stuff.
Definitely. Diets high in processed carbs, those industrial sea oils you find everywhere, tons of sugar. That's basically a recipe for inflammation.
And inflammation is bad news for skin.
Very bad news. It can trigger breakouts, yes, but it also accelerates the visible signs of aging. It's a whole body effect that topicals can only really band-aid.
Okay. What about stress and
Yeah.
sleep? I know when I'm stressed or sleep deprived, my skin looks, well, worse.
You and everyone else. It's not just in your head. Chronic stress pumps out cortisol.
The stress hormone.
Right. And too much cortisol does a number on your skin. It can ramp up oil production, leading to breakouts. It speeds up the breakdown of collagen. Exactly. And it fuels inflammation everywhere. And sleep. There was that study showing poor sleepers, like less than 7 hours, had worse recovery from things like UV damage.
So getting enough sleep might actually be better than some fancy night cream.
It sounds simple, but yes. Sleep is prime time for repair and regeneration throughout the body, including your skin.
Again, it makes sense, but it's not what the ads tell you.
No, they'd rather sell you a cream to look less tired, rather than emphasize the importance of actually managing stress and getting enough sleep.
Okay, one more internal factor. Environmental toxins. This feels a bit overwhelming.
It can be. We are exposed to thousands of chemicals daily. Air pollution, stuff in our food, cleaning products, and personal care products.
Yeah, I read somewhere the average woman puts something like 168 chemicals on her body every day just from cosmetics and skincare.
It's a lot. And the concern is that many of these chemicals can act as endocrine disruptors.
Meaning they mess with our hormones.
Potentially, yes. And hormones, as we'll get into, massively influence skin health. So while some brands might sell you a detoxifying mask,
Right.
the real focus should probably be on reducing your overall toxic load where you can, and supporting your body's own natural detoxification systems, liver, kidneys, etc.
Okay, so we've covered the marketing angles and the often ignored internal factors. Now, part 3. How do we actually build this internal holistic approach? Where do we start?
Well, based on what we just discussed, nurturing your digestive system has to be priority number 1. That gut-skin connection is just too powerful to ignore.
So, practically speaking, what does that look like? More fiber?
Yeah.
Fermented foods?
Yes, exactly. A diverse, fiber-rich diet feeds those good gut bacteria. Fermented foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, plain yogurt, they introduce beneficial microbes directly.
Uh-huh.
And if you have ongoing skin issues, looking into potential food sensitivities with a professional can be really revealing.
What about probiotics? Those supplements?
They can be helpful. Specific strains, especially lactobacillus and bifidobacterium types, have shown promise in studies for reducing inflammation and oxidative stress, which impacts the skin. Remember that 2019 study?
Vaguely, yeah. It's interesting that specific strains might help specific things.
It is. It's a growing area of research.
Yeah.
So gut health first.
Got it. What's next after the gut?
Anti-inflammatory nutrition. This really goes hand in hand with gut health. We want to create an internal environment that calms inflammation rather than fuels it.
Okay, so load up on things like fatty fish,
Yeah,
berries, leafy
we have
greens.
got it. Omega-3s from fish, flax, walnuts, they're potent anti-inflammatories. Colorful fruits and veggies are packed with antioxidants to fight cell damage.
Right.
And don't forget nutrients that support collagen production. Vitamin C is crucial, copper too. They help maintain the skin's structure. Oh, and hydration. Simple but fundamental for cell function and flushing things out.
Makes sense. Water, omega-3s, lots of plants. Now, back to stress. How do we manage that for skin health?
Yeah, managing the stress response is vital. Chronic stress can sabotage everything else you're doing right.
So things like meditation, exercise.
Absolutely. Mindfulness, meditation, deep breathing, these can lower cortisol. Regular exercise boosts circulation, getting nutrients to the skin. Sleep, as we said, is non-negotiable for repair.
What about adaptogens? I keep hearing about things like ashwagandha.
Adaptogens like ashwagandha and rhodiola can be really supportive. They essentially help your body become more resilient to stress. They help regulate that stress response system.
Interesting. So they help you adapt.
Pretty much. They help balance things out and reduce the negative downstream effects of chronic stress, including on the skin.
Okay, so gut, nutrition, stress, sleep. What else? You mentioned detoxification earlier.
Right, supporting your body's natural detox pathways. Not fad cleanses, but supporting the organs that already do this job. Liver, kidneys, lymph system, even the skin itself.
How do we do that?
Simple lifestyle stuff, mostly. Eating cruciferous veggies like broccoli and cauliflower helps the liver enzymes. Staying super hydrated helps the kidneys filter waste.
Okay.
Gentle movement, even dry brushing, can help lymphatic circulation. And anything that makes you sweat exercise, sauna, helps eliminate some toxins through the skin. It's about supporting the systems already in place.
Got it. Consistent support, not extreme measures. And lastly, hormones. That seems complicated.
It can be, especially since hormonal acne is so common. But there are foundational things. Keeping blood sugar stable is huge. Big spikes trigger oil production.
So diet again?
Diet again, yes. Supporting your liver is also key, as it processes hormones. And interestingly, some simple things like spearmint tea have shown some promise in studies for hormonal acne.
Really? Spearmint tea?
For some people, yes.
Yeah.
But of course, if you suspect a real underlying hormonal issue, you absolutely need to see a doctor.
Okay, wow. That's a lot on the internal side. So does this mean we just, like, throw out all our skincare products?
Uh-huh. No, not at all. It's about finding the balance. A smart internal approach combined with a targeted, evidence-based external routine is the sweet spot. We can't ignore things like sun damage or pollution.
Right.
And some topical products really do offer significant value.
Okay, so which ones are worth keeping or investing in from this perspective?
Top of the list, no question. Broad-spectrum sunscreen, every single day. It's the best anti-aging and skin cancer prevention tool we have.
Non-negotiable. Got it.
Then a gentle cleanser. You need to remove the day's grime, pollution, makeup, excess oil, but without stripping your skin's natural barrier.
Okay. Sunscreen, gentle cleanser. What about treatments, serums and stuff?
That's where targeted treatments come in. But focus on ingredients with solid science behind them. Think retinoids, vitamin C, maybe niacinamide, used at concentrations that actually work.
So looking at the ingredient list and the percentage matter.
It really does.
Yeah.
And finally, a good moisturizer. Especially if you have dry or sensitive skin, supporting that barrier function is key.
Okay, so it's about being selective, prioritizing proven ingredients. How do we get better at cutting through the marketing fluff when we're looking at products?
It takes practice, but ask critical questions. Does this product have active ingredients backed by independent research? At the right concentration? Are the claims based on real studies? Or just the brand's vague internal testing? Does the formula even allow the ingredients to penetrate properly?
And maybe the biggest question.
Is it addressing the root cause or just the symptom? If you have gut-related acne, a topical spot treatment is only managing the symptom, right?
The really good filter. So instead of those crazy 12-step routines.
Oh, definitely not necessary for most people. A minimalist approach is often better.
Like how many products?
Maybe 3 to 5 core effective products tailored to your skin. Look for multitaskers if you can. Consistency with proven ingredients over time is way more important than chasing every new trend.
And patience, right, since skin takes time to change.
Exactly. Realistic timelines are crucial. It's usually a marathon, not a sprint.
Okay, so if we were to wrap this all up, the main takeaway from this deep dive seems to be truly healthy, glowing skin is mostly an inside job.
I think that's a great way to put it. It's primarily a reflection of internal health.
Addressing those root causes, gut, diet, stress, sleep, hormones.
Yes, through lifestyle and diet first. And then you complement that foundation with a few well-chosen, evidence-based topical products.
Not the other way around, which is how it's usually marketed.
Precisely. The industry sells the dream in a bottle, but the reality is our skin is just so interconnected with our overall well-being.
That's actually really empowering. It means we have more control than maybe we thought.
You do.
So next time we see some miracle skin claim, maybe the first question isn't, should I buy this? But what's going on inside me?
Exactly. What internal factor could I focus on to support my skin from within? Think of your skin as that visible clue to your internal landscape.
Nurture the inside and the outside reflects it.
That's the idea. And then your carefully chosen topicals can work even better because they're working on a healthier foundation.
This has been incredibly insightful. Seriously, thank you for walking through all this. It puts things in a totally different perspective.
My pleasure. It's definitely a confusing area, but hopefully understanding these core principles helps people feel more empowered to make good choices for their skin.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if you listening found this deep dive helpful, maybe share it with someone else who's drowning in skincare marketing hype.
Good idea.
And until our next deep dive, here's to focusing on health, both inside and out.